Hey, yo, what's the deal? That's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording right now, it is 5:43 p.m. You know what I mean? And May 12th, 2025. And I gotta talk about this because this shit made me fucking laugh, yo. This shit legit made me laugh. You know, it's funny that, these AEW sickos, they hype up bullshit when people side with them, right? Especially when someone chooses them over WWE, right? But then when you see how these people are pushed, right? They don't want to say the truth. And when you do tell them the truth, people don't like to hear it. A lot of people don't like to hear it, right? And in this subject, right, I'm going to talk about Josh Alexander. You see me banging the thing, I'm cooking. I'm cooking about ground beef for tomorrow, not because I'm doing spaghetti. You know what I mean? Like, you AEW motherfuckers don't know how to do spaghetti. So, Josh Alexander, he signed with AEW early this year, right? He went to hire, Bill Barron's, the agent for the Elite and everything. So, he was going to get paid and stuff, right? So, upon signing with, he shits on WWE, right? He claimed that TNA wasn't gonna, give him a contract and such, So he basically dissed TNA to go to AEW, right? But pick this though, right? Hear this, right? So he gets booked by AEW, right? He debuts in AEW, right? He loses. Right? He joins the Don Callis family, right? And now this motherfucker is he's just a background player. Everything that he became in TNA is basically done. You know what I mean? It's basically done. He's not doing shit. And remember, I had people telling me in the comments that, they used this old bullshit storyline when Ethan Page was there, saying that, the main reason why AEW really signed you is because they really wanted Josh Alexander, right? But now that you got Josh Alexander, what happened? What fucking happened? And then what happens is, you see how bullshit he's booked, right? Josh Alexander then goes and wins a battle royal for Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling to become their inaugural. I can't even fucking talk. Yo, hold on for a minute. Sorry about that. To become their very first Canadian World Champion, right? So you mean to tell me that this guy gets booked like shit, right? He gets booked like garbage, and then goes to win an indie title. A title in an independent promotion, which, by the way, looks like fucking TNA. It's basically, TNA Canada, right? It's TNA Canada. And, we're going to bring that title to AEW. For what? Basically, he's a fucking loser. Josh Alexander's a fucking loser. He's a fucking loser. But this is what he got, right? He paid for what he signed for, right? To be a cock. We knew this was going to happen. Shit. Fucking Speedball Mike Bailey is getting more pushed than Josh Alexander, right? Josh Alexander he's now a supporting cast member. He's not even a top of the line guy. For fucking AEW. He's not a top of line guy. Like, come on, man. You got this motherfucker joining the Don Callis, family, right? With no explanation, no nothing. Why is he there? Right? Once he lost his debut match, that was it. It was a wrap. It was a fucking wrap. And you want me to be hyped up for a guy who basically shitted on he shitted on WWE to sign with AEW, right? And he got what he asked for, right? Now, I bet you two things is gonna happen. Number one, This man's going to wind up wrestling on Collision in the next couple of months. Like, a regular on Collision. And also Ring of Honor. Right? That's going to happen. And number two, this man is not going to be happy. He's not going to be happy. Trust me. Because he signed with AEW, right? To do what? Become a background player? Come on, man. So what they do, they make you win a championship in a fucking independent. For a belt that means nothing to AEW, right? The Maple League Pro Wrestling doesn't mean shit to All Elite Wrestling. It don't. It truly doesn't. It doesn't. And you want me to sit there and say that, Josh Alexander, made the right signing and such. People shitted on Ethan Page, right? But look how Ethan Page was pushed in NXT. Look how he was pushed. Look how this motherfucker was pushed, right? Well, yeah. Didn't Ethan Page go back to TNA and wrestle a match this year? Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah. He was also NXT champion, right? He was pushed as a big fucking deal in NXT, right? Compared to Josh Alexander. Now I bet these people are eating their words. And you know what? I would not be surprised if Ethan Page is the third man in Paul Heyman's new stable with Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. It would not shock me. It would not shock me. So again, was the money worth it? Basically, was the money worth him being a fucking cuck? You know what I think is gonna happen? The same shit that happened with Ethan Page is gonna happen right to Josh Alexander. Right? He's gonna be there for about 3 years. Right? He's gonna realize that he's not being used to his fullest potential, and he's gonna wind up leaving AEW. I mean, homie, you can't be this fucking stupid. Like, wrestlers can't be this brain dead, man. They can't be. You know what I'm saying? You can't be this fucking dumb. You should have known this was gonna happen. Now, this motherfucker's, he's being pushed to the wayside and such. Now he's just another signing, for Tony Khan to have on the roster to basically put people over. I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know. I mean, if the Camille signing didn't do much, then I don't know what the fuck will. Josh Alexander. They let Josh Alexander go to Maple League Pro Wrestling to win a fucking title that means nothing. It means basically fucking nothing. It don't mean shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean a fucking thing. It don't mean jack shit to AEW. That's not an AEW title. You know what I mean? That's nothing to AEW. You kidding me? AEW doesn't have a great track record when it comes down to booking TNA talent. They don't. They truly don't. Josh Alexander, right, in my personal opinion, might have to be the stupidest person possibly, in all of wrestling this year. He could have been highlighted, big in NXT. You know what I mean? He could have been highlighted huge. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that he decided to go for the money, right? To go for the money, and basically, this is his new legacy now, to be a cuck. That's what it is. You know what I mean? To be a fucking cuck, to All Elite Wrestling. Damn, homie. Wow. Like, your business sense is garbage, boy. Like, seriously. Seriously. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel bad for him. I don't. You know what I mean? I totally don't feel bad for him. And like I said before, I'm going to say this again. The same shit that happened with Camille is going to exactly happen to Josh Alexander. You can fucking see it. It's already happening. You know what I mean? It's already fucking happening. Josh Alexander ain't going to win no fucking championship in AEW. Like, you serious? The sickos don't like what I got to say. You know what I mean? They do not like what I got to say. Josh Alexander was a fucking former TNA World Champion, B. He was a fucking TNA World Champion, and look how they got him pushed. Now, he's not even a focal point in any storylines. You kidding me? He's a fucking background player, dog. You know what I mean? He's a fucking background player, and you want me to sit there and, and cheer and hurrah that this guy went to AEW where he's not doing nothing? I hate to have told you so about the signing, but I fucking told you so. Anyway, I'm about to be out. You know what I mean? I definitely will be making another video tonight for sure. So I'm going to definitely holler at y'all. All right? Peace.